We're live.
Welcome.
I hate when I don't get notified and I'm the one that pushed the button. Now we're live. Damn it. We're
No,
live.
we've been live.
We're live. It's Friday the 13th, the special Pastor Mike Scary Edition. I don't know. Who are you
It's
again?
not scary. The ball want to call on John Colder Eyes Lawson.
I'm Brent Leary. Nothing scary about that. I ain't
No,
afraid of
nothing scary about that.
I ain't afraid of no date. It's Friday the 13th. I embrace it. I relish the fact that we
It's
are here.
it's my lucky day.
It is your lucky day. Whenever
Yeah.
you get a chance to talk to me, it is very lucky for you.
No, not that part. That part is the scary part of the day.
Let's embrace the whole concept of Friday the 13th. I don't know exactly know what it is, but
Or where it came from.
yeah, where the hell did that come from?
I have no idea.
Somebody just tried to make something up and it stuck, basically.
Just probably, you know. Let's ask Chat GPT.
Yeah, why don't you do that? We'll see
That's
what
always a good thing to do.
unless it makes something up, and we would know if it did.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the funny thing. It does that less and less these days.
Well, it should be getting better. It should.
In Norse mythology, Loki, the
I like him.
chaos god,
Yeah.
he's the chaos god, was the 13th guest at a dinner in Valhalla that ended in death.
In death for him or for everyone?
I don't know.
It would be unlucky if he's the 13th guest and he's the only one that died.
Mm,
Valhalla.
It says the Last Supper had 13 people, and Judas was the 13th to sit down. How would they know that? What?
Well, at least it was because we know. Well, wait a minute. How could it be the Good Friday if it also was Friday the 13th?
No. It wasn't Friday the 13th. He was the 13th apostle.
So, but
Sit down.
okay, so it's so that one
Or the 13th
kind of makes
person.
sense because it's just about the 13th person.
So
But
13's an unlucky number.
but we still call it Good Friday.
It says it doesn't really get officially spooky until the early 1900s. And then it doesn't really tell you exactly what. But, of course, in 1980, Friday the 13th horror movie dropped and baked it into pop culture forever.
Wait a minute. So it took until 1980 for it to actually really be solidified as Friday the 13th?
That's what it's saying.
Because wasn't that the name of the movie? I mean,
yes. It's Friday the 13th.
It took a horror movie for it to be solidified.
Solidified into the lexicon.
Into the culture.
The culture. Yes. That's what this says.
I ain't buying that one either.
It's ChatGPT, so it could be complete bullshit.
I call BS on that, actually. I'm not too sure about that one. Well, maybe anybody out there, let us know. First of all, are you suspicious about being Friday the 13th?
There's nobody out there. It was funny.
Where's Amber when we need her?
I know. I was playing last week, and we were talking about how long we've been doing this. And I had said something about we should get an award for that. So I was playing it. And my husband goes, "What, an award for the longest running show with no audience?" I'm like, that is so cold, man. That's so cold. Oh boy. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad in these streets. Especially bad when your host freezes. That's when it's really bad. Oh, he's back.
Weird. I'm not on Wi-Fi anymore. Am I? No. I should be right on the hard.
You froze and came back. Now that is Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's Friday the 13th.
How unlucky is that? He came back.
No, I thought you were gonna say Friday the 13th is he came back.
That's what I said. Yeah, I get that.
The frozen part
the
would have
unlucky
been good.
part.
Yeah,
I could have had this whole time to myself.
To be alone,
reflective with my thoughts, all the good things.
No, maybe.
But you're back.
All right, so let's talk about this a little bit more. Some of the stuff we talked about earlier today.
Oh,
I want an honest answer.
Okay, cool. This is the honest show.
Yeah, and this is not. I'm not looking for how you use it. I'm thinking just generally.
Okay.
All right. So generally speaking, have you seen a marked improvement in the content that's getting created and pushed out since the ChatGPT came on board 2.5 years ago?
Of course.
Okay. I totally disagree.
Okay. Well, here's the one thing. You don't know if it is or if it isn't.
I do know.
You can't know.
I can.
Okay, how would you know?
I see lots of content. Every day I see lots of content.
Yeah.
I don't see any improvement in the content.
Oh.
I think I see lots more of the content. And I see even like lots of different formats of the content. But I'm talking about quality.
Well, that's subjective.
Yeah, okay. So I'm subjectively saying I ain't seeing a whole lot of improvement in terms of quality.
It depends. I mean, I see some much funnier stuff.
Okay.
Sometimes, I mean, it's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it makes people argue. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
it's social media. You know what? It's social media, so.
But I mean, you can tell if something's gotten like, what? Oh my God, this is so much better.
I'll tell you what, it hasn't gotten way worse.
It couldn't get worse.
Well, it could get worse.
Did it get worse?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, hey, DJ. My fellow DJ is in the house.
Stop comparing yourself.
Whether you're feeling a little superstitious, Stevie Wonder, or just out here walking around like it's somebody's watching me, Rockwell. Today's the perfect excuse to turn up your favorite eerie track. You know what? I never thought superstition was all that eerie. I mean, I thought it was funky as hell. Now Rockwell, that who you watching? That kind of was eerie. I get that. Do you have a favorite eerie song?
I never really thought about it.
Eerie song.
A favorite eerie song.
Or something that just when you hear it, you're like, damn, I'm kind of scared.
No. I mean,
I'll give you one. I'll give you one for me.
What?
The theme song to The Exorcist scared the hell out of me every time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, that was first of all, that movie scared the hell out of me.
That's because you were like a child.
Yeah. And then that music, man, I'm damn, that was some if I hear that song now, I start getting a little itchy.
It's still in you?
That's because, like you said, when you're a little kid, that thing gets impressed on you forever.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, John does that for me. Yeah, don't play that while I'm in the water.
You're right. That thing gets me every time I hear it too.
Yeah. It's like, oh boy, it's gonna heat.
I tell you what, Psycho is another one. That
yeah.
That's true. That does make me get a little antsy.
I don't know. But that's about it, I guess. The ones from the movie themes, yes. Regular pop music, not so much.
Yeah, actual songs.
Not so much. Not so much.
And somebody's watching me. Wow, you know what? I actually think I liked his other song better. Do you know what the other song?
He had another song.
Yeah, I bet DJ Cento knows his other song.
He had another song.
Put it in the comments. He had. I don't know if it like made the charts, but it was. I actually remember his other song, and then I don't remember
He had
anything
no
else.
other. Ain't nobody else remember that.
He had a follow up to "Someone's Watching Me." It's kind of along the similar lines.
Was Michael Jackson in it?
No, that's why I didn't go.
Okay, well then we don't care.
That was the scary part of it. There was no Michael Jackson, so
yeah, we don't.
But
care.
I bet DJ Cento remembers this, and it's actually kind of goes along with "Somebody's Watching Me." The name of the song kind of extends that kind of thing. I'll give DJ Cento a chance before I put it out there.
I don't think so.
I think he would know it. I know he would know it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
All right.
I don't even think that. Yeah, that's not.
Oh, it's gonna know.
Axeman. It's like no, I don't know.
Axeman. You don't remember Peeping Tom? She's my Peeping
Tom.
No, that was him.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't say no.
She's my Peeping Tom.
Really?
Yes. I know DJ Cento has heard this song. I know.
Nobody's ever heard this.
Peeping
even
Tom.
Google didn't know that.
That's amazing. It didn't even show up, huh?
It did not even show up. Now, honestly, it only has one song.
Nah, not it did nice. I said Peeping Tom.
I don't think there's no Rockwell song called Peeping Tom.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna have to get the YouTube link.
Oh, okay. I see.
Put it. Yeah, Peeping Tom. That was his follow-up to Somebody's Watching Me, and it makes sense.
Oh God,
Peeping Tom. Somebody's watching me.
He was trying way too hard.
He was putting together a concept album. No.
He was trying way too hard, man.
I have to admit, I kind of liked it a little bit back then.
Oh my God.
It was catchy. It was a little catchy. There's some violins in it. I love me some violins. I love me some strings.
You are really scary.
That's why I love Raspberry Beret so much.
You're scary.
Really made it.
All right, we got to talk about current times, sir.
So, like I was saying,
Friday 13th.
I don't think the quality of the content, particularly the business content, that's what I'm really focused on. I don't think it's gotten markedly better. I'm not saying the quantity.
I don't think it would get. I don't think it's gotten markedly better now.
Why is that the case? Why, with all these great tools and technologies and newer capabilities, why hasn't the quality of the content gotten better? By the way, it was some female. Some female was spying on him. That was it.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It was definitely.
She's my Peeping Tom. Wouldn't that make her Thomasina or I don't know.
Not going in.
All right, so give me why content quality has not markedly improved with all that's at our fingertips right now.
I don't know if it has not markedly improved. How do we gauge this?
I gauge it by what I see and what these algorithms put in front of me. And what it puts in front of me is little big.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. It's gotten more persuasive.
Gotten more persuasive.
Yeah. Because we've got poorly written content that is being propagated around social media to the point where people are actually believing the bullshit. So it's gotten more persuasive.
How do you figure that one? Because
I mean, just go out on X and just look at the bullshit that these people from the right push out. You see what I'm saying?
I guess, but when I think of all right, maybe I need to qualify, like not just
you did say business.
Yeah, not just people
I don't
put
know.
their BS opinions out there.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't argue for or against it. It just is what it is. You know.
But
I don't
wouldn't
know.
you expect it to be like from a business perspective? Uh, wouldn't you, because of all the hype around this stuff, wouldn't you hope at least that the content
We
being
had that
created would be better?
conversation. We had that conversation already, man. It's
Yeah,
not
but
going to
we
make
still don't.
people smarter.
Yeah, the people. It just is so frustrating to me. Like I would hope we'd see. I mean, look, the cutesy stuff is fine, whatever. I mean, the first people who did the little baby thing, I'm sure that was interesting and humorous and all that,
It was entertaining.
but it wasn't better quality.
Oh, now come on! You
I
tell me
don't
that's
think.
not better quality?
I mean, look, the little the appearances of the people
Much
as
better.
a little baby. I mean,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about not just the look and the like the physical aspects. I'm talking about the like the creative, uh not just creative aspect, but like the smartness of it. I mean, is the content making you feel like be more knowledgeable, be more insightful, be able to do more things that you didn't do before, or is it just, oh, it's a nice novelty and it's pretty and it's funny at the time, which is nothing wrong with that, but shouldn't we see from a business perspective, you know, just better markedly better content, like more insightful or more interestingly put together things
But
that I
that's
would
not
love to
what
see.
business content is about. Business content is about separating you from your dead presidents. And I think it actually has gotten better. And I think it's gotten markedly better.
Do you feel like it's making you buy stuff you might not have bought before because it's
It's
quality
not
is better?
necessarily by not me per se, but the general public, I think, yes.
Well,
They're
we
buying
know
more crap.
the general public are suckers to begin with. I mean, they've
Oh, okay.
always been suckers, right? So
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
not it. I would say net. You're right, but I would say that because more people can push more stuff out easily
Yeah.
and cheaply, but that doesn't speak to the
I
quality.
think, yes, I think it has allowed me to understand deeper some of the more technical content and research stuff that I probably wouldn't be
The
able to
research
really
stuff.
grasp.
I
Yeah.
think the research stuff is good. It is getting
Yeah.
better. I would say I'm doing this. I actually was I think it's a month trial before they make you start paying for it. But the Gemini Pro, I'm checking that
Uh-huh.
out. I am thoroughly impressed with what I've seen so
Hmm.
far with that.
Yeah. It's not bad.
But that's coming from, like, I'm looking at it from a research. I'm not looking at it from a standpoint of, oh, I want to put this in front of people because I think it'll make them want to do something with me.
I mean,
I'm
the
looking at
ability
that.
to code is so much better.
How many people
I
are
mean,
actually put using this to
well,
code?
I mean, that doesn't mean that it's not better.
But
Again, you're putting it in. I'm not. The
I'm,
people are going to be the people.
so is there no hope for the people?
There's no hope for the people, bro. There's no hope for the people. I've been here 60 years. Um, yeah, no.
Has the people have technologies in the past improved quality of the content, or is it mostly about being able to do more with less?
I think it's mostly about being able to do more with less. Uh, you know, um, for the most part, I don't think we have as great uh, writing as they might have had a long time ago.
So yeah,
I
so
think
that's a good one. Do you think the quality of the writing, let's say,
storytelling and
yeah,
all that.
storytelling, writing, like how
Yeah.
many classic books do you think have been created over, like, over the last 10 years?
I'm just like, let's put it like this: how many classic books have been created by Chat GPT or AI? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
See,
huh,
that's a point in my way then, because you're right. Most people don't even want to take the time to write something that's
right.
deep and interesting. And oh, look who's here! It's
Jeffrey
JB.
Alexander Brathwaite.
Look at that. Jab is in the house.
What is up, my friend?
There's no hope for the people, he says. So he agrees with me or you or both of us. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah. He agrees there's just no hope, bro. No hope for the
Like what,
people.
I'm not gonna spend our whole time on you
Yes, he
know
will.
the quality of all right, the quality of the music in terms of
Ooh,
has it
bro.
gotten better or worse? Do you
Let me
think?
just tell you, if you did not watch, which I know you didn't, the BET Awards, but I think they put a line in the sand this year and they put all the new entertainers on before the show. And then they kind of did old school and people you would know, from our era on the main stage. And the difference to me was like night and day. And
Like
so it's
the
like,
quality of the music, you mean?
yeah, and it's really funny because I used to remember my mom saying our music wasn't all that great. That's like
Right.
in the 90s, whatever, you know. Um, but I think, we've always said that before that every generation gets their own music. But just I think the quality of performers, was markedly better. And if you do nothing else, you should watch two things. You need to watch Snoop Dogg's acceptance speech and his performance.
What
Um,
makes them noteworthy?
well, first, I think he knew the assignment and he showed up. Okay, so he got the lifetime achievement, whatever, one of those lifetime awards,
Okay.
right? And you think about it, he's the first hip hop artist that they're going to put on this stage to do and get one of those kind of awards.
Really, the first one, huh?
So yeah, I don't think anybody, in our yeah, he's the first hip hop. I don't think
Wow.
anybody else
Okay.
has done that. Right. I mean, some they've been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, others, but
Right.
this is the first one on BET, right?
Interesting. Okay.
And so he got up, and I don't want to give it away because I really like for you to get, but he made a very, very heartfelt and mature speech. It was just you could, it was really cool. And then he came and did his series of hits, brought out some guest performers, and it was just like, wow, we've come this far. And I think it will shepherd in this next generation, which is, the Gen X people. We've been through. I remember you said something today on the show, and you were like, and the boomers. We were talking about old people. I'm like, man, boomers ain't what we're talking about anymore. When we talk about old people, they're talking about Gen X, man. We're the ones now. So it's like all of our people from our age now are going to be getting these awards for lifetime achievement. And I think he realized that. And it's like, if I show up this right way, it's going to usher in all the other artists that have to come through these gates. And I think it really, really worked.
Well,
I
that's
think
good.
BET pulled off almost the impossible.
That's good. But once again, he's from our generation. I know he's a couple
Yes.
of years younger than us, but he's from our generation. So he grew up looking at the stuff that we did. And I'm assuming that played a pretty significant role in how he wanted to be presented and go in to this BET, whatever. Is it a Hall of Fame or something? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. Yeah. But I mean, also, I think he took on the role.
Like the senior
Yeah.
kind of mentor kind of role or
Yeah. Yeah. He stepped into those shoes really well, which was shocking, shockingly good in a
well, the
good way.
dude is in his 50s at this point, so
Yeah. Yeah.
you would
Yeah.
hope.
Jamie Foxx, I mean, he couldn't even keep it together. He was so blown away, you know.
Oh, he was
So
on it like the same way.
yeah, they gave it to him, Mariah, which was really weird, and Snoop and Kurt Franklin. Another.
Kurt
I'm
Franklin.
just gonna let it go. I mean, but he's been around forever, you know.
Well, let me
So
ask you
I
this.
get it. I
I,
get
'cause
it.
I think we're on to something like, and like the quality of the storytelling in book form or in musical form. It feels like as the tools for mass creation distribution have made it easier for folks to put out stuff. Are we getting any like Stevie Wonder intervisions? Are we getting a Prince sign at the
I think they're
time?
on the way. They're on the way.
You think so?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And there's several artists to new artists that I'm looking at and like, man, they're putting out some quality work. They're doing, they're starting to sing again and create. Ain't nobody gonna walk out maybe and just play a guitar
The
or
starting to sing again.
harmonica.
Whew, what a
Yeah.
statement! They're starting to sing again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they really are though. It's not just, we went through that period of,
Are
electronic
people
music.
are people like learning instruments today, or are they learning how to imitate
Ugh.
instruments on the computer?
I don't know. I don't know if we're really back to that. I don't.
Are we learning how to read sheet music?
Wow.
I mean, that's what all those
But
folks
do
had to do back in the
but,
day.
but do we have to? I mean, do you have to?
I think that's part of the craft of whatever we do. Like a really good writer, storyteller can, I think, enhance and improve their craftsmanship with some of the tools of today. But if you don't have that foundation, if you
That
haven't,
foundation of what?
yeah,
Yeah.
like Prince with the Lindrum. Prince is already a musical savant. Then this new thing, this beat programmer
Right.
thing came on, and he took to it to see what it could do, what it couldn't do, and then he figured out how to incorporate it into the stuff that he did. But it came with that strong musical foundation of being able to create and read and play instruments and put together a song, produce a song. So he was able to enhance what he did because he already had that foundation. I think we're missing out on the actual pouring of the foundation before you start using these tools, because I think people are looking for the shortcut.
Okay. Maybe. Maybe because I'm sure that prior to the invention of some of these instruments, whatever they used prior to that, the people be like, well, they just using that guitar thingy to
Okay.
make,
Well, how
to
about
make
this?
noise.
How about this? How about there are people that learn how to use the guitar thingy and that piano thingy and they
Uh,
do all that because they loved the creative process of making
so
music.
I don't think that is dead at all.
I was going to say, I think there's a much bigger chunk of people who want the fame and the fortune that came from that result, and they don't really care about the creative process,
Nah,
but they
nah,
really
nah,
want to be able to become like an influencer or
nah,
some
nah,
kind of
nah,
thing.
nah.
So they are
Nah,
willing
I
to
think
say,
no. The
you don't think
artist
that's
is
the case?
still.
I'm
I
not saying
I
there's no artists. I'm saying there's a
uh,
bigger pool of people who care nothing about the creative process, but they want what comes along with that, the
okay.
stardom
So
and that stuff.
my favorite summertime show is definitely America's Got Talent, right? So I've been watching this for 20 years now. I think it's been on that long. It's been on a long time,
Wow, that is
right?
long.
Yeah, right. But I don't see any difference uh from an artist today than an artist 20 years ago. I think the passion for making art and having that art uh consumed and in front of the masses is still one of the most important pieces. It's not like all of a sudden we're getting a bunch of cookie cutter people that's like, I want to win and be a star. That's not really
Well,
what it's about.
that show isn't meant for that kind of person. That show is
Well, I
meant
mean, they
for
they do
the
get to
people.
pick and choose who they put on
Yeah, but
stage and stuff.
those
So
folks usually, and I haven't watched it, but I assume those people that are the judges who have been through the creative process that know what it's about aren't going to choose people that they see as they just want to push some buttons to become a star, right? I'm assuming they're actually people that get in front of
well, they
them
put some
are
of those
actual
on too.
people. And
They
do
put
they
some of
get
those
very
on too.
far?
Well, because they're there for the comedic relief.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
those people get weeded out on a show like that. But there are way
Right.
more of those folks in the real world than the folks who are seriously about the creative process of creating stories and music and learning how to write music and read music and put together a direct
But
and
this is
produce.
pop, bro.
But this is what?
It's pop. Pop is
Even
not about necessarily the artistry. It's about what's the most popular.
well, I mean, some people can
And
still
some
do.
things get through.
Yeah, some people are about the process, but also know how to put no. Well, I'm not gonna. So easy for me to kind of go down that road, but some people know how to create a pop song, but that's part of what they do, and they do that because they have to maintain their, their rank, so to speak. But I'm just saying, I think these tools can be used by anybody. They're cheap. They cut out a lot of the process
Yeah.
that a lot of the folks who are into the craft, they don't want that cut out. They actually live for that part of it. But the folks who aren't about that, they have the tools that allow them to get around that because what they really want is
A fan, a
fans,
fortune.
subscribers, and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But you've always
why
had that. Let's put it like this. I don't think that this is you know what? It's the tide that rises all the boats. So there's always been people that are just going to want fame, and fortune, and will, shortcut it in any way.
Yeah, but
That's
the
always
difference,
been the case, right?
you're right. They were back then, but
It was a little longer. It was harder.
the difference is these tools allow the folks who could never do the things that the real people, the real practitioners, the real storytellers, they could never do what those folks do. But these tools kind of do allow them to do something like that. And that's why
Right.
it opens up the pathway for way more people who are not those storytellers, those real native creatives.
Right.
And that's
But
why
there's only so many perches that they can sit on anyway. I don't think the number of perches have increased. There's only going to be one pop song at number one at any given time.
that's true. But I mean, I think remember back in the day, there was only really a couple of outlets that measured, like Billboard magazine.
Yeah. It's gotten,
Now, I mean, you go to the Amazon Best or Spotify. That isn't that like one of the big, how many songs got how many downloads of a song, and that's Spotify. It has absolutely nothing to do with like ranking or kind of looking at the craft of what's going on. It's about digital downloads and some stuff like what's her name,
Right.
Taylor Swift. Didn't she have like she put something out in like the top 10 things were all her? That tells you right there. There's something kind of fishy about how people view the quality of this stuff. How can one person have the top 10 of everything? Come on, that doesn't make any sense. But now you can do that, and like even
I think it's
they put something out, and millions of people automatically kind of go towards it.
Yeah, but I mean it's both ways, bro. It's both ways.
Baby, no, baby.
No, yes,
we ain't doing the baby stuff.
Oh my god!
We already talked about that earlier. And I even had somebody have the audacity to turn me into one of them damn things.
Oh my god! You should have seen them print. Let's show them the Brit baby.
No, we ain't doing that.
Yes.
No, sir.
I'm gonna make a whole episode out of the Brent baby. I'm gonna put you everywhere, Brent.
Somebody might not be on the show next week. Somebody might be on a milk carton somewhere doing some nonsense.
I'm gonna clone your voice, and we're gonna have baby Brent talking about CRM all over the TikToks.
Yeah, if you
and he freezes. Yes, right on time. I guess we need to bring in the baby Brent because the real Brent is not here.
But it just feels like
he's back.
I don't know what the hell's going on now. I got real issues here.
You need to get some new. He needs some new equipment, sir.
I don't know.
New equipment.
I had no problem this morning. I think I have too many I think I have too many tabs open. That might be.
Yeah, you probably need to close some tabs.
Yeah. But anyway, so I just
SB said,
think
"Show us."
no,
So,
we show us what? No, we ain't showing that.
yeah, we could show Brent. I got it
No, not as
here
long as I'm in charge.
somewhere.
I'm the one that says what goes on this screen right now. You can best believe that ain't
That's okay.
happening.
I will post it to my thread later
Nah, that's all right.
after I finish my show.
Ain't nothing good about that.
Good.
Anyway, so SB and JB, I asked a question of the bold one earlier. Generally speaking, with all the tools that are at our disposal today, do you feel like the quality of the content getting generated and pushed out has improved markedly, not just a little bit, because these tools are providing opportunities to do some really interesting things, but on a whole, and I'm talking about from a business perspective, not talking about creating babies and stuff. Do you feel like the content has improved markedly when it comes to the quality? That's all. I would love to know what you guys say about that. And we'll
Much better. Everything's better.
Hopefully we'll get some good, honest answers.
Everything's better. What do you mean good, honest answers?
Everything is not
Everything's better.
This ain't no damn commercial. Everything ain't better.
With Blue Bonnet on it.
Damn. Now we'll talk about aging us.
I know, right? That's some pretty old stuff right there. That's some pretty old stuff. I don't know. I was thinking, I don't know. Anyway, I was doing something the other day and I was like, wow, I can't say that. People don't even know what that means anymore.
Is that old?
It's that old. I mean, if you do 80s references, it's kind of hard for people. Hey, I got to talk about this, man.
What?
Because did you see that Coinbase has a new American Express card coming out?
No.
Yes. So Coinbase started or stated that they're going to have a state of crypto coin. And I'm not coin, I'm sorry, card. And it's an American Express card. And it's going to, be a regular American Express, but it will pay you dividends in Bitcoin every time you use it.
Oh, this is not the answer I was looking for, SB. I really wasn't. Some stuff is, but
thank you.
But your biz stuff, I'm saying generally speaking, I'm sure yours is definitely improved, but not because of him. I'm just saying, generally speaking, I'm sure you're. I'm saying, generally speaking, take your content creation out of the equation. I'm talking about what you see out there generally.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you feel like the quality of the business content has improved substantially over the last 2 years? I'm just saying,
yes, absolutely.
I see the same nonsense. People pushing stuff hasn't gotten any better. Their pitches haven't gotten any better. Their content is just as ridiculous as it ever was. Newsletters haven't really changed that much. Podcasts, please, not at all. I haven't seen any podcasts get that much better 2 years ago to now.
No, not really.
That's what I'm saying. That's the frustrating part. We should see people
I don't know why you think that.
Because there's so much at their disposal that they can do better. You teach these people about things that you can do that'll improve your output. But it feels like what's going on is people just don't want to do the work. They'd rather have the tools do the work.
And that frustrates me somewhat.
Tools.
It's like I'll talk to people about AI and they'll be like, "Ooh, can I make a video of myself so I don't have to do videos anymore?" That drives me crazy. I'm like, if you did the work.
Yeah, but they don't see. That's the thing. They don't want to do the work.
They don't want to do the work. But the funny thing is, it takes more work to skip out on the work than to actually do the work at this point.
It takes more work to skip out on the work.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to like these baby videos. I mean, they're cute and they're fun, but in terms of time and effort, I think it takes more time and effort to make the baby video than it is for you to just turn on the camera and talk to the camera.
Why do regular business people make the baby videos then? If it isn't,
Because the it's popular right now and it's trending. So they're hoping to jump into that, trend just like everybody. But the deal is what they don't get is that kind of a trend is very fleeting. I mean, extremely fleeting. It's like who's making toy box videos anymore where people are breaking out of the toy box? How long that lasts? 2 weeks? You know what I'm saying? The baby thing, it's going to last maybe a month and then
yeah,
it's going to be garbage heap, like
yeah,
literally garbage heap. Like you're not going to get any views if they see it's a bit because everybody's
that,
done it to death.
that's not evergreen content, folks.
It's definitely not evergreen. That's the problem. It's not evergreen. So you're always constantly,
You're always
you know,
you're always chasing the novelty, the hot thing, even if it has no connection to what you actually do. And I think maybe that's part of the frustration too.
I
It's
think that's going to be for sure for a lot of people.
do you think though that I mean, do you think this is still the not like the majority novelty phase with this when it comes to small business people using all
I
this
think it's
AI
an on ramp for if doing these kind of things is an on ramp for you to get involved in AI and learning the tools and how to put it together, then it's going to really pay off in the end
but do you,
because you're going to be ahead of the next crowd.
only if you move from novelty phase to the next phase, which is all right, well, how does this apply to my business? How can I actually do something that improves my relationship with customers, my conversion rates? I don't see people moving to that next phase from the novelty phase
And
because
well, I don't know if you're looking.
I think I'm based on the content I'm seeing. That's all I can base it on.
Yeah, but I mean, all of our content is spoon fed to us unless we dig deeper anyway. So if you're looking, whatever you're looking for, the content server will keep serving you. So if you're looking for, man, these are some crappy videos, then they'll keep serving you crappy videos because you're watching them.
Unless
You
you
know,
stop watching, and then because they're not converting. But right now they're converting, and they will continue to convert until the next novelty
well, I'm
thing comes
talking
along.
about your feed in particular.
My feed in
Or
particular,
anybody's feed in particular. As long as you keep watching it, it'll keep feeding it to you.
that's what I'm saying. And so and then you want to replicate that because it's getting views. People get so I get it. So I'm not taking myself out of this. But people, when they create a piece of content, they want to see immediate reaction or engagement. They want to see how many likes they get, how many comments they get, even if that stuff has absolutely no correlation to something going on with your business. It's like
Well,
they want to be
yes.
popular more than they want to be in business.
I don't know if it's. I think it. You need to feed the algorithm because the more somebody engages with it, the more engagement you'll get. That's how it goes viral.
But
You
do
know.
you like if you create one of these baby movies, do you really want people to just come and say, "Oh, this is funny or it's cute," and nothing else comes of it? I don't understand what's the point of that.
Hmm.
SB says, I will say this makes content online difficult to tell if it is live or Wow, SB, are you in our age group too? Memorex.
Yeah, but there you go. Live or Memorex. You
Memorex.
didn't told on yourself.
Join the club.
Yes, we know what you mean.
We know exactly what you mean.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think that kind of remains to be seen. I think it's too novel to know.
How much time does it take? Will you give, and I mean when I say will you give, I'm just talking just to talk. How much time would you think it would be appropriate to move from the novelty to, okay, we played around a lot. What can we do beyond the playing? When should we expect or hope that particularly small business folks make that turn, make that pivot?
I mean, I can't put a timeline on it, but most people's timeline is too short. It's like I was talking to a young lady, and she helps with podcasts and getting people up on podcasts. She said, the average podcast never makes it past episode 5,
Yeah,
right?
I can see that. Totally see that.
Right. So we live in this microwave society where people think, hey, if I put out 4 or 5 episodes, if I don't see anything happening, I'm just going to give it up. And I think you're way too early. You look at the guy that just did the NBA commercial, he's been putting out videos like this for over a year. He's been
Mm.
following the advancements of AI in video. He's taken that as a tool and started making, you know, um, commercial based business type videos. And finally, somebody engaged him for a commercial. He said he spent $2,000 on, the iterations to make that video. It took him 2 days, and it ends up on the NBA championship game. I mean, how much money is that going to make for him or for that company? A lot of money, and it didn't cost a whole lot.
I
So,
like the fact that like you said, he's been doing it, I guess, consistently for years.
yeah, for at least a year, or
Yeah.
at least a year or more. So that's what I'm saying, though. If you're getting in today and you're like, wow, the baby videos are cool, you learn how to make those baby videos. That baby video might turn into something else kind of video. I mean, I'm seeing the baby trend is going into um, uh,
Oh God.
Bigfoot and Star Wars, Star Trooper videos. So, I mean, you're getting ready to see even more of these types of videos coming out. And I think that person, a year from now might be making a actual full featured movie from being able to do these 30-second clips. You start stringing them together, they start getting better where you can make 5-minute clips. You string those together, you got a movie.
So
You
here's where
know,
I think we're talking about the guy that has done this, that had this happen. He is more of the traditional storyteller kind of person.
yeah, he was a Hollywood
Yeah.
producer
So
kind of guy.
he was into the craft of creating these kind of things. He wasn't doing it with the thought of I'm going to get rich at the end of the day. I think he was doing it because first of all, he probably just started liking doing it, and he was
Yeah,
into doing it, and that's why he was able to consistently continue
that's what
doing.
most people are doing, Brent.
Well, I would say no. I would say most people would say they see the guy. They finally see him because the commercial goes viral or whatever, and then they're like, "Oh man, that sounds cool. I want to do that." And they
Yeah.
don't realize it took him like several years to
No,
have
but
that
there will be
happen.
some hack that will sell them
Yeah,
on a course that will tell them
that
how
was
you can be an NBA. I'm sure somebody's working on it right now.
it's probably some people we know,
And probably some people we know, you know.
and that's unfortunate.
Absolutely.
I think that's completely unfortunate because that's the person that gets sold a bill of goods by not by the guy that had this thing
That
happen.
actually made it right.
Some sucker that saw, oh, okay, I can probably get a couple of bucks off of people buying my course.
Exactly.
That's what I'm really more fed up with. I'm not.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
know.
mean, hey, these
I think
tools make it even easier.
yeah, the draw in the suckers. I mean, that's unfortunate as hell.
There's an old saying, man, a fool and his money.
Yeah, we know that. We know
Exactly.
that.
So, I
And
mean, as long as there's fools with money, there's going to be somebody that's going to separate them from it.
I must address this last comment.
Oh, gosh. Why do you have
Look,
to mess with Gary? Leave
look
Gary
at Gary
alone.
Vee. No one used to watch his wine videos. Didn't they? Didn't that? Isn't that how he got to be popular online? Is that wine show? I mean,
Yeah, but a lot of people used to watch it.
yeah,
That's where he came from.
that's where. So who wasn't
But I
watching?
mean, he's gotten way past the wine library. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot
But
of people.
everything has to start from somewhere.
That's
And
true.
so for a lot of people, it can start with a baby video. And one
But
day we might be given an Academy Award to somebody that started out as a baby video maker.
Yeah, I'm guessing that won't be the case, but you know,
I don't know, man. I don't
I
know.
want. I can't wait for that. Yeah, I want to first thank YouTube and all the people to watch my little baby stuff. No,
You know what? You remember? You I can't remember the name of the movie. Blair Witch Project.
yeah, whatever happened to those folks?
Like they made a couple more, and then that was it.
Okay.
But the concept. Do you know how many knockoff Blair Witch Project attempts there were?
Yep.
Probably tens of thousands
Yep.
trying to make $1 million movie with a video camera and their friends.
Yeah.
You know, so it inspires people. People are inspired right now, and I think that inspiration is good, even though we get a lot of crap out here. But the inspiration that you think, hey, I can take these tools and I can create something almost out of nothing. Well, not nothing, because you're using somebody else's
But I
videos.
totally agree with you. I think there's a very small percentage of the overall that thinks exactly like that. And then there's the vast majority that said, man, I don't think that looks pretty easy to do. And that got him that. All right, I can do that for a little
I
bit.
can do that. Yeah, there's going to be people that lots of them. Most of them will fall across the wayside. Absolutely.
That's
They're
I
lemmings.
think we're in agreement on that. I think
You remember the lemmings? That's what they are.
the lemmings, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Most people are lemmings. I mean,
Most people are lemmings. 100%. Most people are.
So all the hucksters that you were just talking about, they use those tools to find the lemmings.
Yes. And
The
those lemmings
use these
feed their
tools.
families.
Yeah, exactly.
They
But
buy
not
their
their own.
Lambos and
But not their
Lambos
own.
and Learjets.
Yes.
Yes,
People-
you can fly Learjets from lemming money.
You can build a nice living on the back of the lemmings or on the dollars of the lemmings.
You really can.
It's a very unfortunate, and I think this technology only enhances that capability to find even more lemmings than you ever could.
That's right. It does.
Yeah, so
It's a lemming amplifier.
so let's bring it all the way back. The net of all this AI stuff. Has it been a positive for the overall, a net positive, or are we just getting more of the hucksters, more tools to do what they do to the multitudes of lemmings?
Okay.
I wish it wasn't like that. I really do. But it just feels like the hucksters are.
But it's just going to be like that forever, bro.
I know. It doesn't seem
This
like
is not new.
It's not an end in sight. But you're a coach. You
new.
help people. How do you help people get past all that huckster talk that they hear from all the hucksters? How do you get past that for what you do and how you help people?
I just have to. Some people you can't help. And honestly, it's kind of a percentage of a percentage of a percentage, and the constant key. It's like we were talking earlier in the other show about the Pareto principle and the 80-20, and there's 80-20 inside of the 80-20 and 80-20 inside of that. So it's that happens, man. It's like, so we've got this cream of the crop that invest in themselves and join the mastermind, and then there are, out of those people, even those are the top X percentage, there's still another top percentage of those people that are going to move up to the next level, and so be it. There's some that will come through and have access to all of this and will still be a lemming slayer. But yeah, that all they're really looking for is how they can make it happen on lemming money.
By the way, there's a comment that came in. I don't even know why it's not showing up in StreamYard, but
oh wow,
it's for you. It's my buddy Liz Miller. VP and principal analyst extraordinaire when it comes to CX. She says, quote, I am so here for John's shirt.
Yay!
Had to make sure I got that in there.
That's awesome. This is from the young lady that we always talk about, Jennifer Jasper.
Oh,
God
yeah.
Ain't Petty. This is a God Ain't Petty shirt. So that's from God Ain't Petty, but IM.com.
Very nice.
Grab it. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta get that.
Very cool. All right. Thanks, Liz, for pointing that out. Liz is
Thanks,
great.
Liz.
You would love you might have met her. She was at our event.
Oh, I might have.
She was the one that came up at the end and gave me and Paul those awards that we were completely surprised about getting. Oh, you might not even been in there because knowing you might have gone back to your other because you were
I was there
dabbing.
for the first day.
You were dipping in the ours.
I didn't just dip. I came and I hung out at the after party.
Oh yeah, you came back for the game. I know that.
Yeah, I came back for the game. In the freezing cold.
It was cold. Oh.
It was a tundra that night. Jeez.
It was, but it was nice up in there though.
Yeah, we had a ball. We had a ball. That was very nice.
Yes,
very nice.
All
I can't
right.
believe how uncomfortable the seating is, but other than that,
I miss those really comfortable seats they had.
Me too. I just they were right next to us. That was the part that was pissing me off.
Oh, they were no one over from us.
No, you remember like that? They have a whole section of them now. Remember that on the sides down? Yeah, and you couldn't go over there. I was like, man,
yeah, man, because I could have taken a nap. Those things are so
easy.
Oh. Anyway, all right. So we come to the end of another show.
Yes.
I think. Oh, I'm off the road for a while too, so I know I'll be around.
Oh wow! Okay, yay!
Yes, sir. No more, or at least until Labor Day. I don't think I have to do it. And so I'm going to enjoy that. But in the meantime, we will see you next Friday. Have a great weekend and go out there and make some good content.
Doing high fives.
Just don't make any damn babies. That's all.
Make baby videos.
Please don't. We'll see you next week.